So for that company, we did a total technical consultation plus financial consultation plus market research, and as well reached out to investors to raise funds. So it was not just being a mere consultant firm. It was also like being a partner or acting as an startup. So I'll briefly touch on what was the steps done. So the Reckenmeller firm, it wanted to open the hydrogen gas stations in Brazil. So I researched the ways hydrogen can be produced without much of carbon footprint, or with zero carbon footprint. So there are like kind of energies like green, blue, and gray, gray, green hydrogen. Categories of energy, and all these are based on the amount of carbon is emitted at each of the fuel. So like if there is a blue hydrogen gas produced, then it means it's with zero carbon. It could be attained through carbon capture using the carbon nanotubes, which doesn't cost much. And for that, we also researched what are the other alternatives to capture the carbon, whether the hydrogen should be extracted from green source of energy, that is ammonia, or through carbon fuels like the normal methane, or CH4, or the ethylene or petroleum, wherein like through it goes through the cracking process, in the cracking equipment with electrolysis electrodes in place. And at the end, it is just checked like the amount of energy that is used in the manufacturing of this green hydrogen, is less than the amount of overall energy that we as in hydrogen are producing and serving to the customers. It involved the research of the cracking equipments, which was cheaper in India than in most of the European nations. The kind of electrodes, that is mostly the precious metal electrodes, works best for electrolysis of ammonia, or even methane. There are cheaper version, but again the efficiency attained through those electrodes, or the entire process is less. That is less electrolysis, or less breakdown of the input fuel, that is methane or ammonia, and less production of hydrogen. So we had to go or choose a moderate, cost efficient yet effective electrode, like nickel, or platinum combined with carbon nanotubes, and some electrolysis such as aluminum oxide and metal oxides, which expedites the electrolysis process. Basically hydrogen is the fuel that had to be extracted. So this was the manufacturing research work that was done. Then for the market research, like studying whether the input fuel should be, or source of energy should be imported, as methane is really readily available in Europe and is cheap, or a green source of energy or storage of energy like ammonia. It could be attained or imported from Brazil. There was also like options explored for utilizing the solar panels, solar PV cells, photovoltaic cells um, uh, for the for powering the cracking equipment, or for the running of the cracking equipment. So with the solar panel, the entire per square feet of the photovoltaic cell, it comes around like 5,000 to 3,000 euros. So based on the quantity of the target production, or the quantity of motorists that had to be served, the field area and the photovoltaic cell area was calculated, the amount of cracking equipment, or the quantity of cracking equipment, the amount of input fuel, or input storage of energy, be it methane or ammonia, was decided, and then distribution and storage, because hydrogen, since being highly inflammable, so distribution to longer distance was not an option, and storage is again very expensive. So like in at station, the production unit had to be efficient, and the storage has to be like maintained with the maximum accuracy and quality. So besides this distribution, storage, and then negotiating the funds to incur all this capital expenditure, because energy sector is highly capex intensive, be it the land area for the photovoltaic cell, be it the gas station rentals, or even the gas station property, investing in the cracking equipment, which comes around 2,000 to 3,000 euros, but in Europe it was a bit expensive. And then like the distribution trucks, it was I mean, it was all calculated and submitted to equity investors, in the form of business plan, and pitch deck to get their interest and approve a funding for around 10 million. So far there was no success from two investors who showed the interest. There had not been much of success. So this was individual project, like altogether a separate entity. Then besides this, we are, since a financial consultancy firm, beyond enabling the businesses more into the financial side. So we, as mentioned on in our business goal, like we suggest our clients on equity investment. So we continuously read the market, like be it at the country level or within the domestic market, like in China, like still that housing crisis hasn't recovered. Then with the oil prices, it's still all-time high, and with the recent fresh geopolitical tension again erupting in not just in East Europe but as well in South Asia. So all this has again raised up the oil prices, and then commodity prices in India, the gold and precious metal are right time to be invested in. The IT sector is has picked up the stocks, the blue chip stocks, the Pangam stocks. It's like I still call it Pangam. It's been like Meta now. No, there is no Facebook. So yeah, that stock has gained momentum post its new product thread. Uh, so we suggest investors around these areas as well, and we help the in the company valuation, like establish whether a company is profitable or it's in loss. If it's profitable, like what's its uh, uh, what its valuation would be, whether it's currently priced more than its value, or it's priced less than its value. If it's priced less than in value, then it's a buy option. If it's priced more than the value, then it should be sold off. That's because you're keeping a stock. That's the right time basically to sell the stock. Then we also like with respect to investment at international level, we suggest whether there is what are the default risks for various countries. Like after financial crisis of 2008, almost all countries have made it a ritual to look at the default rate risk of the countries. So it is for India BA3, which is around 3.3%, and there is a spread as well. The treasury risk, or the treasury bill rate, or the risk-free rate is around 7.8, and also fair return on the stocks for India is around 11%. So any outside investor, they should look for 11% of 11% of return on their investments as well. Then besides the equity risk, there should be a check on the growth. Like India's growth is quite competitive. It was like before COVID behind China. Now it's at par with China, or above China. We had been promising 7% to 8% growth. So it's reduced to 5% or 6%, but it's still a competitive growth rate compared to the other market, even the international market, which has kind of slow down. So any investor who is ready to take a moderate amount of risk, given the BA3 rating, that is 3.3 default, the default spread of 2.84%, the equity risk premium of 3.3%, uh, and the risk-free rate 7.84%. So 11% is decent enough to get as a return. Then growth of 5% to 7% is still lucrative to be invested. There is as well the uh, the company valuation that needs to be done diligently, like calculate the profit or loss for the company, like do the normal calculation, like uh, the EBIT times 1 minus the tax, and add back the depreciation, and subtract the capital expenditure. Now, when I was mentioning about the Reckitt-Miller, had it been a Reckitt-Miller company, the capex expenditure would have been really high. Most of the energy sector companies are currently capital intensive industry. And then check on the working capital changes in working capital, because that drives the operating expense, day-to-day expenses. So subtract that, arrive at the free cash flow for the company, then arrive at the discount rate, that is the rate that would have brought all this future cash flows to the present value. So apply that discount rate, and then see the valuation, see the price of the stock. Generally, this is one way for the publicly traded firm, but for a private firm, the valuation is generally like the amount of equity that has been invested by VC or LPGP, plus the debt the company owes. So that is generally considered as the valuation for for any private company. So these are the quantitative checks that has to be done, and once this quantitative check has been done, then the market research should be carried out to compare similar products in the industry. Like if you are going for again an energy company, so Exxon versus like HP versus BNP. So compare like with the given money, which is stock to be invested in. So this is all. I mean, basically, it's one time work that has to be done before taking the final action. Then also a few of the macro factors has to be checked, like like said, the political risk, and political risk, or the political system which is going on. It could uh, uh, can change the entire valuation process, or it can bring down the decisions, or there should be a proper mitigation steps in place. Then as well, like to when we are suggesting to create a portfolio, there should be a proper proper allocation of funds, like in f- in like being being into IT, which is inflation averse, as most of the tech stocks are uh, inflation defensive, or immune to inflation. Then if like in countries where their Fed is already like in a transitory mode, which is the term used uh, to like trim down the inflation. So it's good in to like pick up some risky stocks, again energy stock, which is trading right now at high, and with the again uh, uh, geopolitical risk going on, add more oil stock, energy sector stock. Again, semiconductor would have got slipped a bit. Then a commodity, gold and gold, silver are the safest uh, uh, stocks to be added to the portfolio, to again mitigate the fluctuations, or the to reduce the standard deviations. Uh, Basically, these four areas, if checked, like commodity, oil, semiconductors, because of the gaming industry semiconductor, and the IT stocks. So this should be creating a well balanced portfolio for the investor, and checking the kind of a stock, and the country to be picked in, mostly India. Uh, so uh, um, these sector stocks works in Europe region, then in India and US. Uh, Besides this, uh, other things that has to be that has to be checked uh, by client, or should be asked by client to our company, is the other other areas where the investments are being done, where the government is also involved, not just spending in or investing in the fixed income securities, uh, like picking up on the startup firms. It's risky, but again, given the kind of return and the opportunity for growth, it won't be a bad decision. So overall, these areas, we are we have the expertise. We are approachable. We have been doing a decent job, and we would be careful with the money. Then besides this, we also have the IT services like website development and domain creation, domain launch. The legal services uh, is totally like AI based, and we have our network of lawyers and legal team in different regions, and we can certainly guide clients if they are comfortable to legal agents of their approach in the respective countries as well. And yeah, on small scale basis, uh, we have a few initiatives like ESG initiatives, that is uh, on the automation of the psychology, or the people management area. Like if you visit the posts, there is uh, a project that we have been trying to like convert from a hard hard copy to into a algorithm table, and kind of convert into a game. So that is a small scale project that's going on, and then converting the converting again the various business design forms, yeah, into more creative forms, and uh, making it available for the users. So these are the areas of services that we provide to clients. We are approachable to clients, and clients approach uh, um, uh, to us for as we are currently just starting. So for very minimal of the charges, we have catered to the clients, almost for free. uh, then uh, I'm think I am not missed on the major decisions or areas that should be looked before investing in Indian market, or uh, approaching us. We have a network of high net worth individuals and startups who have talent. So yes, we do provide services around those as well, meeting the investees and investors. Uh, uh, Meeting happen through our trust, and we have a pool of talent that enable all these services. They We have a pool of talent in various industries like health, fitness, food, energy I already touched, tech, and then insurance as well. So hope so this gives a comfort, and this gives an exposure of our business, and we are readily available. Contact us.